What's up guys, Coach Az here. Today I want to give you 3 setups for landing your cross. I was enjoying the UFC this weekend and I was particularly impressed with Kamaru Usman's striking and that fantastic straight right that he knocked out Jorge Masvidal with. So it got me thinking, what are some setups and how can we look at the cross and make it a bit more interesting? Now, rather than me just listing off a bunch of techniques and finishing with the cross, I want us to look at and think at a bit more about what each technique does as part of the setup. What we're trying to achieve to ensure that that right hand can land perfectly when we throw it. I'm going to demo the combo for you and then I'm going to try and explain it as I go through it and tell you my thought process for what I'm thinking when I do these setups. These are all going to be boxing combinations, so you can adapt these for kickboxing, Muay Thai, boxing, MMA, etc. Combination number 1. We're going to be throwing a lead arm jab, lead arm hook to a cross. Alright, that's the basic techniques in the combination, but this is how I want you to think about it. Instead of the lead arm jab, I want you to think of it as a measure. I'm using this first punch to gauge my distance to my opponent. We know that if we're landing the jab, we're in range to throw the cross. Okay, so that first technique, jab / measure. 1. Number 2, that lead arm hook is going to be the guide. The idea of this punch, obviously if we can land it, great. But realistically what I'm trying to do is guide my opponent's head towards my power hand. You see, if we just throw the jab, there's a good opportunity for my opponent to slip off, get off the line and remove the power or even make me miss with my cross. However, if I throw that jab to measure, then come around with that hook can be used as a placeholder to ensure that my opponent's head is where I want it to be for when I shoot that cross straight down that pipe. The other thing it does is it provides a little bit of counter rotation. So from here, I go 1, 2, you see how my body is twisted into this hook. This cross is now fully geared up and ready, boom, to shoot right down the pipe. All right, so let me just show you that combo a few times flowing on the back. Just an important note on that combination, if we're shooting out that long jab, this hook is going to have to be long as well. So don't think of it as a short hook that's coming in here, that's going to mess with our distance. We're assuming that our opponent has stayed at the same range. So if I've landed that jab, that hook needs to come around quite wide and quite long. Be aware that's going to leave an opening on your chin. So we've got to be quick from that hook to that straight cross. Combination number 2, we're going to go for a jab, body jab to that cross. But again, rather than just thinking about the technique, let's think about what we're trying to achieve. That first jab, you see how I'm standing a little further out? I'm going to use it to close the distance. So we're going to slide in on that first jab. So that first one is really just about closing the distance on my opponent. Rather than just moving forward and then risking getting hit, I'm going in behind a technique. So I'm using that jab to let me get on the inside of my opponent. Now this next one is a level change. I'm coming down and I'm shooting that jab into the body. The idea being that I'm trying to draw my opponent's guard down and create the opening for me to come upstairs. From here, I'm working that jab to the head as I step in. 1. Then as I come back, I'm shooting that jab again to the body to draw the guard down. And then I'm coming over the top, boom, with that cross up to the head. When we train the kids with this one, we like to use the bunk bed scene from Monsters Inc. Yeah? Top bunk, bottom bunk, top bunk. We go up, we go down, we come back upstairs. By playing with those levels, we keep our opponent guessing and we create more opportunities for us to land the shot. So let's see that combo a few times. Combination number 3, we're going to go for a fake angle cross. So a little bit different on this one. We're kind of pulling more on those karate, taekwondo backgrounds for this movement, okay? Think Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. From here, you can do any fake you want at the start. You can fake with your jab, you can fake with your cross, you can fake with your shoulder. If you're a kicker, you can fake with that lead leg chamber. fake with that back leg hip. What we're trying to do with the fake, what we're trying to achieve is a flinch. What I want my opponent to do is basically freeze on the spot, thus setting them up for me to step off the line and strike them. So from here, when I throw that fake, I'm throwing what I call a hard fake. Just a quick note on this. Soft fakes, we're throwing them all the time. Soft fakes is me showing, moving, all the rest, trying to keep my opponent guessing. A hard fake is when I'm really throwing a fake with some intention to try and get a reaction. So from here, I'm soft faking, and then suddenly, I throw a hard fake. It's a lot more aggressive, and there I'm trying to get a response. I'm trying to get a flinch, trying to get them to move back, trying to get them to move their guard. So from here, we're gonna go fake. This angle, I'm stepping out with my back foot. So I'm taking my back foot across, boom. So I'm off at about 45 degrees. I've come off of that center line, and now I'm attacking to that head, straight off with that backhand. So for this combination, we're not actually throwing any techniques to set it up. It's all in the movement and the fakes. I'm setting it up with a fake, some footwork, and then straight into the strike. All right, so let's see that one a few times in motion. From here, we're working. Fake, angle, fire. Again. Fake, angle, fire. One more. All right, guys, well, those are 3 setups to land your cross. Obviously, if you're a southpaw, you just got to switch that all round to the other side. All the techniques remain the same. Remember, you can have the most powerful, amazing cross in the world, but if you don't have the setups to make sure that it lands, none of that will matter. So always practice your setups along with your techniques, and don't just think of combinations. It's not just jab, cross, hook, okay? It's thinking about what each technique is trying to do to ensure that it lands, okay? Think of it like a game of chess. You don't mind giving up a few pawns if it means that you can use your queen to take their knight. It's the same concept. We're not always throwing every technique with bad intention. Sometimes that jab is just there to measure. Sometimes that hook is there to guide them into the cross. Sometimes that angle is being used to break off the line and create the opening. Guys, if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channels. We've got new videos coming out every week. We've got drills, we've got reaction videos, we've got equipment reviews, and we will see you on the next one.